By the dippers going all in on the stock market here. Will we make new all-time highs next week? Let's get into it. Here it is, Friday, September 26, 2025. If you guys like the video, maybe give it a like, comment your thoughts. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts analysis and live day trading. We also still got the sale going if you're interested in that. Link is in my pinned tweet on X. And we had a really nice short this morning in the room. We talked about this level. In fact, I gave this out yesterday to you guys here in the video here, 66.50. That was your bull bear line, and we back tested it perfectly. We were looking for a fade off of, we were looking for a rally off of PCE and then a lower high there, and that's what we got this morning. Now, dip buyers did come in pretty sharply, and you can see us up a little bit even in the after hours here, but on the close, 66.50. It's a good dip buy, but we have to clear that. So I'm still gonna leave the jury out for right now. Now, yes, trend is up. Give the bulls the bias until proven otherwise. But here in the near term, that's still a level that needs to clear. We also, I talked about this in regards to looking for a rally this morning off PCE. That little thing there, that's why we went up to 66.50. So originally, throughout the day yesterday, I was referring to, I think it was ES, like 66.80. And I knew that wasn't going to be enough because of that secondary low there. So that gave us some extra juice. But right now, as of the close here, that's your big line in the sand here for next week. And it's really that simple. So not much else to really put in there. That said, again, like there was aggressive, and I mean like nobody on my feed's bearish, like not a single person. So this is how it looks on SPY and QQQ here. And it's just funny to me how, like, for 5.5 months, it was the exact opposite. Put premiums way up here, call premiums dead. The whole way up. And now that now that the QQQ is up 50% off the lows, now everybody wants to buy the dip. So we'll see if that ends up happening here. But that's the short-term level right now, 66.50. SPX, and that's it. That's really all you gotta worry about. And then if that does clear, then we can threaten a new high. QQQ would be you're looking at 598 and 600 here in the near term on the upside. On the downside, I'm still gonna say 590 is a level that needs to be defended. And for the cash S&P, you got the 66 obviously, and then down here the FOMC low. That's your big level. We didn't really, obviously there was a lot of vol selling into the weekend. I still don't think the VIX gets much past 15 or 1550 here. It might be a little bit of downside Monday though, given that big sell there. But it's interesting. It feels like we're going to get some sort of geopolitical news over the weekend. And I don't know if that's going to move the market. It doesn't always do that. There's also the government shutdown. It's like 82% now, last I checked on Polymarket, and Trump did say that prepare for firings. Again, does that move the market? It has in the past. So I'm just bringing it up because it has, but it doesn't always have to do that. But the oil upticking here, platinum upticking, palladium upticking, these are tied to Russia. So there's just been a lot of chirping going on. So I wonder if we get a headline. Again, does that move the market? Maybe, maybe not. Just things that I think are worth at least pointing out. But near term here, though, SPX, it held the 20 MA, and that's what it's been holding the whole way up. So we'll be watching those levels. I just gave you the numbers right there. We talked about the Qs, the Russell here. Oh, and by the way, just to, for what it said here, weekly dojis pretty much across the board. And I was going to look at the Russell there. Yeah, I mean, we went right into double top, like with no pullback. So not a surprise we're pausing here on IWM. And we did see some COTs. They did come out. I don't have them in front of me, but they did cover a lot of shorts on the Russell after the FOMC, probably why we started to come back in. Anyway, Dow, again, no problems here. It tested the 458 level, and that's holding right there. That's still a bull bear line right now. SMH up 24 basis points. TSM, again, leading semi, that still has completed that evening star, but it's holding the gap for now, so it's not like a a meltdown of any sort. We had Nvidia backtesting 180 again. That's been pinned there for quite a while. And we had Broadcom and AMD lower today. So some of the other semis, ASML, AMAC, KLA, Qualcomm. No, Qualcomm was down, but some of them were holding up. Most of them. There, we just look at least Intel. Intel doing all the work. Your tax dollars going to that. IGV up 1% here. Again, holding trend, 112.50. I think I mentioned that earlier this week, and it got kind of close there, and we got a rebound off of that. Transports, this is ready to trend. I thought it would trend this week. It has not. So this is coiled. It is coiled there. Trend is up. You have higher lows, but you have a red inside bar. So it's still fairly neutral here. Overall, that's the case for that. Interest rates here, and we'll definitely talk about Bitcoin too, but interest rates, 2-year backed off just a little bit, but kind of just a pause day for yields. Interesting how the 30s were weaker than the 10s, but the 2s and the 5s were weaker than, so the 10s were kind of flat and the others were down. But yeah, if this breaks above, 420 and the 30-year back above 475, that's like a failed, that's just another, this wouldn't be news, right? But that would be another failed Fed policy. I mean, they essentially have marked the lows across all durations. XHB up 1.1, so still lost the 50 MA on the weekly close. However, again, weekly trend is still good. I don't like losing that breakup bar, so we might have a little bit more digestion here. IYR up 1%, again, really tight range. That's been so tight for so long. XLF, take a look here. So we closed right into that prior trend line. And it's funny to me how we closed exactly at 54.25 last week, which is the exact high. So the inside bar held, and now the rising wedge trend line holding. Nothing really terrible, but fins haven't done jack in a while. KRE still has a pretty good chart. It's holding the 50 MA here, and weekly's all right. So if this can just, the 20 MA can just catch up here, that could probably trend higher here. But it probably needs a little bit more time. Broker dealers, they were down. Weren't they down earlier? Not really. I thought I saw them down earlier, but they're back up. I was thinking of yesterday. I don't know. But again, they haven't done much in a while either. We mentioned oil up 33 cents. The real winners today was XLE. Everybody get a golf clap out because this weekly candle here, very good. So we cleared all those levels on the weekly close. And like my favorite, which I still own, Exxon, cleared the June high as well on a weekly close. XOP cleared that high on a weekly close. OIH, extra golf clap here. It didn't make a new high of the week, but it doesn't matter. We closed above 260. So that's been trying to do that for a long time. So I would now give this the upside buy. You got some, you got these pivots here, but I would give it the upside bias into those moving averages there. Energy is starting to wake up a little bit. A lot of shorts in oil, a ton, tons. If they finally get their day here. All right, dollar index here, pause day, but close the week back above 98. So sellers unable to keep this down. Gold came off the highs by the end of the day. Trend is still up though, no damage. GDX held up pretty well. GDXJ. The big winner was silver, although it came off the highs. On Monday, I was like, joking, but kind of serious. I said, we could maybe, I wouldn't surprise me to see 50. Well, we got the 47, 46.94. So that's probably getting up there. And yeah, I mean, like, I remember, I traded through 2011 and I remember selling at 46 and, which was like kind of luck, because it was only like my first year actually doing this, but maybe serendipitous to an extent. But, there was euphoria then, like serious euphoria. Right now, there's not even like silver squeeze trending on X, right? But silver squeeze is trending like right here, and then we do this, right? And it's trending here, and then we do this, right? I don't see it right now. So there's still like, I mean, yeah, Wall Street is being forced to chase now, I'm sure, just to performance because they can't ignore this price action any longer. But I mean, I don't see euphoria really. I mean, it like people are definitely bullish, but it's not like it was. That said, you're going parabolic, so at any time it shouldn't be a surprise if we have a massive reversal and massive volume. But I would not fade it until you get that, personally. Platinum continuing higher. Very nice move here, and again, been pimping this on the long term here for a while. Get a bigger chart. So I've been talking about this monthly, but really, palladium, that beautiful rounded bottom there. Gotta love that. Very nice to see those catching up here. Yeah, I don't know. There's geopolitical stuff going on now. There's a lot of chirping with NATO. We all know these guys want to get involved. They want it so bad. And, palladium it's a big, Russia controls a lot. Anyway, copper here up 25 basis points. The futures are down. You got a nice bid here. It needs to consolidate to get through 485 and then $5. Now, crypto today, ETH was not terrible, and we talked about that $30 level on ETH. Yeah, they held it, right? They held it. And you can see Ethereum here up 3.6%, and it held this level. I still like it down here better. But Bitcoin here, not really the greatest. This actually was really weak into the afternoon. Like this was selling when the market was like trying to break out. So I don't know. Not the greatest look, but crypto basically bounced across the board. So we had a bounce day there, but yeah, a little weak there going into the weekend. So anyway, we'll see what we get next week. We got jobs coming up. You guys know the numbers there in SPX. We'll be keeping an eye on those. So anyway, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Have a great weekend. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. We'll see you guys all next week.